There's nothing called top 25, in my opinion, in our industry.
Yeah. Maybe I'll let Irfan come in, because for him developers don't matter who it is. I think the structure is very different. So Irfan, just a very quick question to you. When you are looking at projects, and I'm assuming that when we are talking to you about 2-3 years ago, the challenge was other lenders not cooperating in terms of giving you senior secured and giving NOCs. And there were demands about upfront cash out, you take me out. How's all that changed? Is there a sort of a cooperation that's coming in? Are the ducks getting aligned in the right manner with the right spirit, so that you can reach and solve this 150,000 homes that you're doing? And how much support do you get from the government to help you get to this number?
So Shobhit, even before I answer that, let me just pitch in with what Vikas and Vipul were saying, right? Investment is rarely a blue sky mandate. You have a specific mandate that is given to you by investors. The kind of instrument that you're targeting, the kind of returns that you're targeting, and what flows from the returns is the kind of risk that you are going to take, and therefore the quality of the companies that you're going to be dealing with, right? So similarly in our case, right, our mandate is social impact. Our mandate is to help stressed projects, right? And therefore we cannot rely on the bio of the or the resume of the promoter to take investment calls, regardless of how the promoter has fared in the past, regardless of whether there have been incidents with the law or not, regardless of whether money has been completely utilized in the project or not. Our mandate clearly says that we are here to complete homes. It is looking at the home buyer, and therefore that is far more important to us than the reasons that led to the trouble, right? So we cannot take the crutch of the reasons that led to the trouble as therefore saying we do not want to invest in those projects. So that's my bit to the earlier question. Actually, to answer your question directly, right? There was a lot of apprehension when we came in about whether we would get a senior charge, whether a mandate was by design there was a problem in it, and there were soft whispers about it that we would not get a senior charge and therefore nothing could be done. So rather than comment about it, we let stats and track record speak loudly and boldly, right? So we've given final approval to 108 deals. Of them, 57 deals have lenders who've given their NOCs, right? So that is the extent to which lenders have come along with us. And there are several nuances to it, as we've discovered along the way, right? So when you push and you prod and you keep moving in the right directions, you keep finding solutions. So what we've seen along the way is, one, because we are a sovereign fund and because we have given sanction to a project, the existing lender has decided to step in and complete the project on his own. So that's what we call almost an infinite return for SWAMIH, because even without investing, we've acted as a catalyst in completing the project. The other bit is when lenders have given an NOC for the project, or in some cases and in many of our cases, we are seeing that the lender is being prepaid. Existing lender with a small balance is being prepaid, so that the lender is out of the equation, and therefore we get a senior charge immediately. We are also seeing NBFCs work out a solution where some cases in their portfolio are acquired by AIF, and then the AIF approaches us, because an AIF does not have so many issues about first charge and second charge. But we've seen reluctance from banks. I can admit to that straight away. We've seen reluctance from banks, and that is primarily because banks have another alternative solution from the same government, right? So banks have this emergency credit guarantee line, and they've used that as a very effective solution for decreasing the stress in their accounts. So while we've seen a more sedate response from banks, the fact is, like I said, more than 50% plus of the deals we have got lender approval. And we've tried to get lender approval in various ways. So one is almost immediately within a month or 2 months of starting, we announced that we would do sharing with the lender. So maybe up till 10, 20, 30% of the revenues from the project would be shared with the existing lender. And sharing is a tough way of putting it, especially from the SWAMIH point of view, because it's not like the remaining 70 or 80% is coming to the SWAMIH fund. We are insisting that the remaining money is plowed back into the project. So it's more like 0% for us and 30% or 20% for the existing lender. But we've not been able to, by a mandate, by the crux of our mandate, by design, we have not done refinancing. Now that's I believe that's a different approach to the same problem. There are, a couple of issues that are related to it, which we tackle in a slightly different way versus another lender who might, approach refinancing with lenders. So I think the two big issues there are, what is the risk return that you're looking at, right? Most refinancing players would look at a return of 18% plus, 20% plus. We do all our deals at 12% and nothing else. So that's one. The other is the quantum of financing. So without refinancing, we are able to put in all the capital that is required to complete the project, right? Vis-a-vis, I think when refinancing is involved, most or a large part of the capital goes into refinancing, and maybe 30, 40, 50% of the cost to complete is available. So the amount that is committed to completing the project and the rate at which the financing will be available is different in both these cases. In a case like SWAMIH, where there is no refinancing, and in a case where other funds would do refinancing, and there's no right or wrong there. They are just two different approaches to solve the same problem.
Thank you, Irfan. I think you've explained that very well, and also we've understood the innovation you've done in SWAMIH to tackle the sort of banks and other people who are involved. Speaking of innovation,